During my sophomore year of high school, I had a difficult conversation with my doctor. He told me not only was I going to miss the entire track season, not only had I been running on stress fractures for the last few weeks, but they might have to put an iron rod in my leg. That's how bad the injury was. And for any high school athlete, that is the last thing you want to hear. And I know that when I heard that, I thought my life was over. The one constructive thing that I did in high school, running, I felt like it was being taken away from me. High school Steven thought that his life was over. But as I look back on that moment, I realized what a blessing it was, as difficult as it was at that time. Because what happened, I found this opportunity to take a step back, evaluate what went wrong in my training, and fix it. I learned during that time of rehab that I had a rare type of shin bone called Verum shins that made me more vulnerable to injuries. I also found out that I had poor running gait, poor running stride. And so what I did was I developed an exercise routine with a physical therapist to help improve my running and mechanics. I invested in orthotics to help compensate for my weak shins. I attended active release treatment sessions to help clean out the junk from my previous injuries. And after a year of rehab, something really remarkable happened. I come back, join the cross-country team, I make varsity, I make it to state, and a year later, I'm running my first marathon. I had this huge upshot in performance after that setback. And as I look back, I realized that that improvement was a direct result from that setback. Because when I was willing to admit that I had failed, that gave me the opportunity to learn and improve and be better than I ever could have before. You know, and that's what failure could and should be. An opportunity for us to learn so that we are in the same situation again, we can respond better. Failure does not have to be the end unless we make it that way. The way I see it, it's like climbing a mountain. If you're climbing any large mountain out there, Mount Everest, Mount Denali, you do not get to the top in one trek. You go up the mountain part of the way, and then you come back down to a lower level, you adjust to the altitude, and then you move up on the journey. Then you come back down to a lower camp, and you repeat that step by step, going up and coming down. In life, our success and our breakthroughs, those are the times when we're moving up the mountain. Our failures and our setbacks are times when we're coming back down the mountain to get acclimated. But here's the thing, if you want to get to the top of the mountain, if you want to get to the pinnacle of your success, you have to be willing to make those trips down. And so, if you're striving for success as an athlete, as a professional, in your personal life, be willing to take those journeys down the mountain. Be willing to fail. Because it is through failure that you will find the opportunities to succeed and be more than you ever could have before.